Hi there, you guys. Oh my gosh. It's been a little tricky to get on here. Thank you for joining the Real Love Lounge. I'm Susan Foxley, and I'm so honored that you're here. And what I want us to do, because I had a little tricky technological challenge, is let's just take a couple deep breaths. Inhale again, and let's exhale. Ah, that works the vagus nerve. Let's inhale again, and exhale. Ah, so nice to have you guys here. I'm new to YouTube Live. I've been doing this on Instagram, but I want to introduce myself, you guys. So welcome to the Real Love Lounge, where we nourish our hearts, minds, and spirits with conversations that uplift, heal, and transform. Tonight, we're diving deep into two powerful themes: the love diet. It's not about food, but the thoughts we consume, and self-talk, the inner dialogue that either builds us up or breaks us down. How we speak to ourselves shapes how we show up in the world. So together we'll explore how to shift from self-criticism to self-compassion, from judgment to gentleness, and from fear to love. Grab a cozy blanket, light a candle, and take a deep breath. You're in a safe space. Let's begin this journey inward where the real transformation begins. And today, I'm going to teach you guys heart math meditation. And I just want to tell you that it is one of the most profound things that I do with my clients. I saw my client this morning. He's in his 80s. I see people from ages 5 years old to 80. My oldest client's 92. I've been seeing her for 25 years. And I want to tell you that the most profound thing is heart math meditation. So place your hands at your heart. And if you guys have any questions, I believe the chat room is open. So please drop. I see Greg's here. Hi, Greg. So nice to see you. So glad you're here, Greg. And feel to chime in with some questions. I have some questions from my meetup group that I'm going to answer today. But I'm going to teach you heart math meditation. And it creates mind-heart coherence. And just place your hands at your heart and imagine your heart has nostrils. Breathe in through your heart and out through your heart. Breathe in through your heart and breathe out through your heart. And I invite you to go back to one of your favorite memories under the age of 10. Maybe it was the first time you got on a bike. Maybe it was the first time you saw the ocean. Maybe it was a time when you jumped in a puddle. Go back and see what you saw. Hear what you heard and feel what you felt as if you were there right here, right now. Breathing in and breathing out. See what you saw. Hear what you heard and feel what you felt. Okay, now we're going to go to another scene. This time you're under the age of 16. One of your favorite memories. See what you saw. Breathing in through your heart and out through your heart. Hear what you heard and feel what you felt as if you were there right here, right now. Really nice. And then we're just going to go back to another scene under the age of 20. Go back to that memory, breathing in and breathing out. Under the age of 20. See what you saw. Hear what you heard. And feel what you felt as if you were there right here, right now. It just takes 30 seconds to recalibrate, and it creates mind-heart coherence by dropping down into the heart and going back to those beautiful memories. It's called heart math meditation. And the reason being is most of us have a negative bias. For me, especially, I was addicted to negative things, negative memories, negative experiences, and I held on to them so tightly that I would forget those beautiful memories of walking my dog in the park early in the morning as a little girl, or I loved kicking a pebble down a street for blocks by myself, just being in the moment. I loved my first bike, my pink bike with the pink tassels on it. I loved my bike, loved my bike. So we have a negative bias, and we have a tendency to cling on to the negative things of the past. So we're here at the Real Love Lounge. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put you guys on a love diet. I'm writing a book right now called The Real Love Diet. So in all of my classes, my life coaching workshops, as anyone knows that's come to my classes, I give you a rubber band or a beaded bracelet, and I have you put it on your wrist. And anytime that you're having an unloving thought towards yourself or somebody else, snapping it and erasing and replacing, literally snap out of it and erase and replace. And we learned how to master those thoughts. We have 60 to 70,000 thoughts in one day. And most of those thoughts are the same as yesterday and the day before and the day before. So today we're going to master loving thoughts, and it starts first with loving ourselves. And step one, for 1 week, nodding, you can't criticize yourself for 1 week. What we're going to do is erase and replace. So if you find yourself criticizing yourself, snap out of it and replace it and focus on something that you love about yourself. There's got to be something that you love. Maybe that you have 10 fingers and you have 10 toes and you have eyes to see me right now and you have ears to hear me right now. And we just did heart math meditation, and you were able to feel those wonderful memories. So for 1 week, you guys, we're not allowed to criticize ourselves. And then the step moving forward is not being able to criticize anybody else. And in the love diet, you focus on things that you love about people. Like for me, when I go into a group of people, I've mastered the love diet by scanning the room, and I'll find things that I love about people. I love her hairdo. I love his shoes. I love their tattoo. I wonder what that means. I love the way that she styled her hair. I love his voice. I love how the light comes into the room and how it lights up their face when they talk. Just finding things to love, again, because we have a negative bias. So I invite you to have a positive bias and learn to train the brain to focus on the good. And it's a choice. We can choose to look at the good in life. It's a choice. We can choose to look at the good in life. Hocus, pocus, focus. So that's step one, is basically not criticizing ourselves, not judging ourselves, not self-deprecating ourselves, and really complimenting ourselves, and let that spill over onto other people. Compliment them. Find things that you love about them, the color of their eyes, the color of their lipstick, their beautiful dress or their beautiful shoes. And then you can let that spread out into your environment, loving your neighborhood and loving the people you see in the coffee shop, and just really mastering love and above. And I got that from Christy Marie Sheldon. She calls it love or above, but I love love and above. and even loving our anger, because it's it's a anger is a it means that my boundaries have been pushed, and anger means that I'm off the beam and I need to do something for self-care. Or if I'm overwhelmed or if I'm frustrated, love those emotions, because it's my body speaking to me that I need to create some change and plug into my GPS system a new highlighted route, that I'm off the beam. So even loving the negative emotions, because I'm listening to that inner whisper. If I'm feeling kind of scratchy inside around somebody, maybe I need to move away from them. Maybe I always say, go where the love is. Always go where the love is. If you have kind of an icky feeling, my husband always reminds me of when you get into an elevator, if you have an icky feeling about someone, do not let the elevator doors close. Step out of the elevator. Or if you're in a dark garage and you get like a really weird feeling, honor that. That's your own inner compass, and loving your own inner compass, and always going where the love is. You never see a lovebird hanging out with a crow on a telephone wire. Birds of a feather flock together. And I love what Dr. John Gottman says. He says the happy marriages, which I equate happy relationships with myself, happy relationships with others, is basically 5 positives for every 1 negatives. So anytime I criticize myself, I'm going to replace it with 5 positives. Anytime I criticize my husband, 5 positives. Anytime I criticize my son, 5 positives. Anytime I criticize someone's yoga pose when I'm teaching them. Yes, I teach yoga for a living as well as life coaching. So if I'm criticizing my client in a pose, I give them 5 positives after that. And just learning how to do mastering positivity. So that's step 1, is mastering affirmations for the positive, and complimenting ourselves, praising ourselves, uplifting ourselves. So that is step 1. And in all of my workshops, I give you a card and it says, the only thing I have to deal with are my thoughts. The only thing I have to deal with are my thoughts, because loving thoughts go into loving feelings go into loving actions, and loving actions go into wonderful results. So, and that's part of my book, Mixed Up to Fixed Up in 4 Weeks, one of my books that I've written, and it's basically clearing and cleaning our negative thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and put on my glasses to see if I can get, I don't know. Hi, Greg. Nice to see you. Hey, you guys, if you have any questions for me, please put it in the chat. And I do have a couple questions that I got on Meetup. So I do have a Meetup group called Effed Up to Fixed Up in 4 weeks. And that was one of my first books, Effed Up to Fixed Up in 4 weeks. I've written 4 books. This is one of my books. And so I have a Meetup group. And a woman wanted to ask, her name is Candace. I am scared to launch my coaching business, Candace said, and she wants to know how she can launch her coaching business. And I think one of the ways that we get into our love diet is creating self-worth, and being uncomfortable, being comfortable with being uncomfortable, and doing things outside of the box. For you, Candace, who you are scared of starting your coaching business, you can start out small and give people 10 or 15-minute coaching sessions, like a mini session, to see if they wanted to go longer with you. You could start an Instagram page. I would do things outside of the box for you. You can also begin writing a book with your life coaching messages. I used Freelancer and Fiverr to write my book, and now we have ChatGPT. And you could start a blog. Just be comfortable, create change, to create self love, We have to have self-worth, and sometimes we have to act ourselves into loving ourselves. We have to act into loving thoughts. So do something, take risks. Take risks, Candace. Do something out of the box, but start small. Start small. Take an action by maybe starting an Instagram page, starting a blog. You could start advertising on Nextdoor. You could start advertising in your local community, at your yoga, at your local yoga studio or your coffee studio or Craigslist. Just throw the spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks. So I hope that really helps you, Candace. And then we have some other questions. Jeanette said she's having a hard time letting go. She's having a very hard time letting go. So if we're having a hard time letting go of our past, I like that saying, if we keep looking in the rear view mirror, we're going to crash. Look into the windshield of potentiality and remember your future. Most of us are addicted to our past. And so plug into your GPS system where you want to go and make it exciting. Do something that you love. So on step 2 in my love diet, I have you go on an emotional diet and do things that you love. So I encourage you, in order to let go, I want you to plug into your GPS system where you want to go and do things that fulfill you. This is such a short time that we're here on this planet. Write down things that you love, okay? I love bubble baths. I love dancing. I love yoga. I love coffee and chocolate. I love talking to people at the coffee shop. I love walking around in my neighborhood and looking at things not made by human hands. Do things that fill you up, even small steps. For me, a bubble bath every night with candles fills me up. I love listening to positive affirmations like Louise Hay on YouTube. I love Louise Hay and listening to her positive affirmations on YouTube. So, a part of letting go is about the law of substitution. So the law of substitution says if you think about a purple pig, you're going to think about a purple pig. So let's say you're fixated on letting go of this one person. You're going to keep ruminating on letting go of that person, but use the law of substitution and substitute that for something better, okay? And substitute it for things that are going well in your life. Like, let's say you're having a hard time letting go of Philip. Maybe focus on all the girlfriends that you have in your life, or the wonderful success you're having in your career, or you ran an extra mile this morning on your jog. Like, focusing on things that are going well in your life. So that's part of your love diet, is plugging into things, plugging into your GPS system where you want to go, because good thoughts go into good feelings. Good feelings go into good actions, and good actions go into good results. Also, letting go, you could write a letter to that person, thanking them for all the things that they did for you. Let's say Philip is a man you're trying to let go of. Write down, thank you so much for sharing with me. Maybe you went on road trips together. Maybe he shared with you the love of music or the love of a song that remind you of him. Just focus on things that Philip brought to you in your life, and then ready to let him go. And then forgiveness. Forgiveness starts first with ourselves and then forgiving them. And I love closing our eyes and imagine that person you want to let go of. I forgive you. Will you forgive me? And imagine him saying, yes, I forgive you. Will you forgive me? Yes, I forgive you. Will you forgive me? Yes, I forgive you. The Course in Miracles says all illness is from lack of forgiveness. All illness is from lack of forgiveness. Forgiving ourselves and forgiving the other person. I forgive you. Will you forgive me? Yes. And thank you for that time together. Thank you for those lessons. Thank you for giving me clarity of what I do want from experiencing what I don't want. Thank you for being my biggest teacher. You taught me what I don't want in a relationship. Thank you for teaching me that. I want someone who's a little kinder. I want someone who says 5 positives for every 1 negative. I want someone who means what they say and they say what they mean, but they don't say it mean. I love what the Dalai Lama says, my religion is kindness. So again, getting back to forgiving that person and forgiving yourself, you can write their name on a piece of paper and flush it down the toilet. You can put their name on a piece of paper and put it in your bra, or a man can put it in his pocket of a shirt and send them forgiveness and love, and then let them go. You can write their name in the sand and let waves crash over. Let waves crash over them to let them go and give them back to God. Just give them back to God, because the person you want to let go of, you don't want them to have free rent in your head. This is high real estate up here between our ears. This is high real estate right here. And the person we want to let go of, we may be ruminating over them. And we can, if resentment is wanting to hold on to burning coals, wanting to throw it at the other person, but we're only hurting ourselves. So, really blessing them, you can write down, Dear God, I resent this person because X, Y, and Z, and what my part in it is. I expected them to be different than who they were. I didn't unconditionally love them. I was going to the hardware store for milk. I was expecting this person to be kind when they weren't kind. I have to let them go. I have to let them go. They are harming me. They are harming my soul. I let them go. And then focus on the people that do love you. Go where the love is. Go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. Go where you're celebrated. But if you resent that person, if you want to let them go, bless them. Write a goodbye letter to them. Uh, Maybe, and not send it. You could burn it. You could write their name in the sand. You can imagine just wrapping them up in a blanket and handing them over to God. Let go and let God, but you don't want them to have free rent in your head and your heart. So I hope that helps. Let's see. Elizabeth says, I just began the book, The Tao of Letting Go, Meditation for Modern Living of the Taoist Water Tradition passed down by Lao-Tzu by Bruce Francis. Very nice. Thank you, Elizabeth. So the woman who wants to let go, you might want to just read The Tao of Letting Go, the Meditation for Modern Living. Thank you, Elizabeth. That is really wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Jacqueline said said anyone, anywhere. I'm stuck here in Beaverton, Oregon. She's stuck here, so she probably feels limited, and she wants to know, she feels super, super stuck in Beaverton, Oregon. So I don't know the whole story of why she's feeling stuck, but maybe baby steps if she wants to move, out of a relationship or move out of where she is in Oregon. She could take baby steps of applying for jobs in other areas. She can go Airbnb around the country to see where she wants to live. There's so many options. Remember, life is a buffet. Life is a buffet, and we have so many limited belief systems. I know so many women tell me, Susan, it's so hard to date in Los Angeles. It's so hard to date in Los Angeles. Now, that to me is a limiting belief. I just flew back from Wyoming after visiting my father in Father's Day. He's 91, but I was flying over Los Angeles. And as I flew, I just looked down at, oh my gosh, just unlimited people, unlimited homes, unlimited neighborhoods. Oh my gosh, we have so much at our fingertips. So if you're feeling stuck and you feel like life is closing in and you don't have any choices, do some meditations where you feel like you're opening up. And I love Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditation where we go from something to no thing, somewhere to nowhere, sometime to no time, just clearing and cleaning those unloving thoughts or those limiting beliefs, just clearing them out, because we make our beliefs and then our beliefs make us. And a belief is just a thought we keep thinking over and over and over again. So if you go from something, somewhere, and sometime to no thing, nowhere, and no time, clearing and cleansing and cleaning all those limiting beliefs, clearing and cleansing and clearing and cleansing those limiting beliefs, then you feel connected to everything, everywhere, and all time. You're connected to all the streams, the rivers, the oceans, the galaxies, the stars, the moons, the sun, just feeling unlimited. Just life is a buffet. Life is a buffet. There's unlimited amount of incredible men out there today, incredible women. And usually it just starts between our ears, those limiting beliefs. And so we are enough. There's a more than enough. There's plenty of men. There's plenty of women. There's plenty of food. There's plenty of money. There's plenty of careers. This woman in Beaverton, Oregon, there's plenty of places to live. Life is a buffet. But usually when I'm in fear, I'm contracted. I'm closing up. When I'm afraid, I'm closing and contracting. I'm closing and contracting, and I'm limited, and I'm so afraid. It's like when I tried to get on this YouTube, I'm new to YouTube Live, so I was fearful because I'm going into the unknown. And then I just kind of paused and took a deep breath, and I just expanded my awareness, opening up to something, somewhere, and sometime, to everything, everywhere, in all time. So maybe write down your limiting beliefs, and then, or your fears. You could write down your fears and then write the opposite of your fears. So let's say I'm afraid that there's only a limited amount of money, or a limited amount of people to date my age, or a limiting amount of careers or jobs out there. I have a limiting belief that there's not enough jobs, there's not enough money, not enough people to date. And then erase and replace, and in the second column, write down there's enough money, there's enough men, there's enough women, there's enough states to live in, there's enough Airbnbs to rent, there's enough careers, there's enough jobs, there's enough homes, there's enough food. So it starts with my thoughts. And I love, my thoughts are electric and my feelings are magnetic. I send an electromagnetic Wi-Fi signal out into the universe, and I get a vibrational match. So when I feel like I'm not enough, the universe will show that to me. Did you guys know that the number one thing men look for in women and the women look for in men are the same thing? Do you know what that is? Confidence. That's right. And it's just a belief that we are worthy, that we are lovable. Going back to our love diet and loving ourselves first. If we don't love ourselves, if we can't even look in the mirror at ourselves and love ourselves, which I could not do. I could not look in the mirror at myself and say, I love you, Susan. I really love you. And it began with starting to do, I love Louise Hay in the mirror work. And she has you hold up a mirror and every night look deeply in your own eyes and say, I love you. I really, really love you. I love you. And I love doing the Ho'oponopono prayer. From Dr. Hugh Lin, he healed a whole criminally insane mental ward, saying this prayer to the client's folders, not even to their face. And what he said was, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. And thank you. I've had many clients heal their their relatives with this prayer, have healed chronic mental illnesses with this prayer. I've had many clients' success stories with this prayer. And Dr. Hugh Lin healed a whole criminally insane mental ward saying this prayer just to the folders. Read the book Zero Limits by Dr. Hugh Lin and Dr. Joe Vitale. And it's, I love you, and I'm so sorry that I can be so hard on you. Please forgive me, and thank you. Thank you for being you. I use this prayer all the time. I use it with my son. I use it with my family members. I said this prayer to my mother before she died. I have 9 siblings, and many of us stood around my mother before she died. And we said, we love you, Mom. We're sorry. Please forgive us, and thank you. Thank you for being you. If I get into a fight with my husband or my husband gets into a fight with me, I love you, and I'm sorry. Please forgive me, and thank you. I've had miracle story after miracle story of my clients healing their relatives and friends with this Ho'oponopono prayer. And it's part of my Real Love Lounge, my Real Love Diet book that I'm writing. The Ho'oponopono prayer changed my life. I discovered this prayer when my son was a teenager. It changed everything in my life. And I started saying this prayer to myself. I have my clients. One of my clients calls me the love doctor. I don't know if she's on here right now. Maybe Samantha's not on here, but she called me the real love doctor because I've seen her and her partner, and we used this prayer together, and they were fighting all the time and arguing. And this prayer clears and cleans the body and the mind and the soul. It's magic. It's like taking an eraser. I love you, and I'm sorry. Please forgive me, and thank you. So I love that. And you can read more about it in my book, Mixed Up to Fixed Up in 4 weeks. And thank you. Thank you so much. She had Zero Limits, Elizabeth. The book is called Zero Limits by Dr. Joe Vitale and Dr. Hugh Lin, but you can find it on YouTube for free. And I would go to Dr. Hugh Lin's. He's he passed away a couple years ago, and actually my life coaching workshop that I had here, I'm in my home office, but I had a life coaching workshop downstairs in my living room. And these people came to my life coaching workshop, and Dr. Hugh Lin married them. They said, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're talking about this, Susan. Dr. Hugh Lin married us, but he passed away last year or a year and a half ago in the Valley, but he lived in the state of Hawaii, and his last name is spelled H-E-W, and then his L-E-N. H-E-W is his first name, L-E-N, Hugh Lin, Dr. Hugh Lin. And this prayer healed his daughter who had a chronic illness, a physical illness, and it healed his daughter. So, and then he went to the State Hospital of Hawaii, and he would just say it to the folders of the patients. He would just say, I love you, while he read the folders. I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. Getting back to our thoughts are electric and our feelings are magnetic. We send an electromagnetic Wi-Fi signal out into the universe. There's really a pineal gland in the middle of the head the size of a walnut, and it's an antennae. And actually, our thoughts go out into the universe. And people know when we're judging them. People know when we're criticizing them. Trust me, you guys. They can feel it when you're judging them, judging the way they look, judging the way they dress, judging the way they live. They can cut it with a knife. I work with a lot of people that are special needs, and they have antennae all over them, and they can pick up your judgment. They can pick up your criticism. So we clear and cleanse and clean with the Ho'oponopono, loving people unconditionally just the way they are. I also life coach a lot of parents, and loving our children just the way that they are. I so wanted Ben to be different than who he was. My son is an introvert, He's quiet, he's introverted, he moved to Northern California. I so wanted him to be an extrovert. And I got that first lesson when I had a therapist come to my house once a week. And Ben would never smile. He was very serious. He was a serious thinker. And I'd say, Ben, smile, smile, smile. And the therapist said, no, Susan, match and mirror him, mirror his face crunching up and say, seems like you're really thinking, Ben. It looks like you're really thinking about something. And match and mirror where he's at. Because I was telling him to be something different than who he is. And so part of the love diet that I'm writing in my book is really meet people where they're at, match and mirror their facial expressions, their even the way they're speaking with their arms. I'll give you an example. My husband worked at NBC for many years, and he'd come home at midnight, and I go to bed at like 10 o'clock. So he comes home, he's down in the stairs. He's like, I've had it with the earthquakes and the fires and the shootings and the political divisiveness. I've had it, Susan. I have had it. And I just wanted to say, it's midnight and I want to go to sleep. Will you just be quiet? But instead, I matched and mirrored him. I was on top of the stairs and I said, I can't imagine how hard that is to just have to deal with the fires and the floods and the earthquakes and the shootings. John, I can't even imagine that. And he just ran up the stairs and hugged me and just said, God, I love you, Susan. Because I didn't want to change him. I just met him where he was at. And plus, then it gets me into my body because I'm matching and mirroring his body. And I'll give you another example. My son came home. He was working 40 hours a week. He lived in Santa Monica in an apartment, but he came over and he's like, Mom, I've had it with my work. I can't work 40 hours a week in front of a computer. I've had it. I've had it. I want to quit. I want to quit. I want to quit. So I learned the LEAP method from NAMI. And the LEAP method is listen, empathize, agree, and partner. Listen, empathize, agree, and partner. So what I did was I really listened and I empathized, but I also match and mirror. And I got on the couch with Ben. I said, Ben, if I worked 40 hours a week, I'd want to quit too. Oh my gosh, that's got to be so hard. I can't imagine working in front of a screen for 40 hours. That's got to be so hard. And I said, maybe we can partner together and find a different way. Maybe you can contact your boss and go down to 30 hours a week and use that 10 hours to self-care and hike and take care of yourself. See how we problem solved and partnered together. So what happened was he went back to his boss and he asked for 30 hours a week and they agreed. And so Ben is still at that same company 6 years later. He didn't have to quit his job. And I matched and mirrored him and he said, Mom, God, you're good. God, you're such a good life coach, because he felt seen and he felt heard and he felt validated. But I want to give a shout out to Debbie Green because she taught me that about, really emulating Ben and not trying to have him be like me, because I'm animated, I'm outgoing, I love to talk. My son is not that way. And for people to expect us to be just like them, expectations are resentment under construction. And part of being on the love diet is just loving people just the way they are, loving people just the way they are. So, anyhow, thanks, Elizabeth. Elizabeth says that's funny. Yes, totally. I love the LEAP method. I love the love diet. Okay, I'm getting back to another question. Barbara says she is stuck around romantic love. And she's very stuck and she's deciding whether she should move or not. But she feels stuck around romantic love. So, okay, I love, love, love mental rehearsal. So, the reason why our lives are not changing is because we're not doing the mental rehearsal. Every thought is a prayer, every thought is a seed in the garden. So the mental rehearsal, I will teach it to you. Okay. And they even did this they took 3 groups of Olympic people training for the Olympics. The first team did no mental rehearsal, which is visualization. They did no visualization. They just did the physical training. The middle group did 25% mental rehearsal and 75% training. The last group did 75% of mental rehearsal and 25% of physical training. Guess which group did the best? The group that did 75% mental rehearsal and 25% training. So the mental rehearsal is basically visualization and planting that seed in your garden. So for me, I had to do that for myself because I was looking for evidence everywhere I went of feeling unwanted, unloved, and alone. I was single for many years, and I would walk with my client in Palisades Park, and I'd see all these single women. I'd see all these single women there, and I was like, that's going to be me. That's going to be me. I'm going to be an older woman walking down Palisades Park alone. But I really wanted a partner. So I thought, Susan, why don't you do what you teach other people to do? So what I did was I closed my eyes and I visualized. I didn't know what they looked like, but I knew how I wanted to feel. So I didn't get into how they looked, but I knew how I wanted them to feel. And I wanted them to feel like, God, I just effing love you, Susan. I just can't live without you. I just love you. And I felt really, really good. I went into that feeling part of feeling good and feeling seen, feeling loved, feeling cherished, feeling adored. And I marinated in those feelings. And I imagine this man looking at me like, God, I just love you, Susan. I just love you. And I really visualized it. I felt it. I marinated in it. And then I just got up and put it to a song. So that's the one thing you have to do is you have to, once you get up from your visualization, you have to wake up as if your prayers have already been answered. So I danced every day. I danced. So I encourage you to get up and dance every day as if your prayers are already answered, you guys. Your prayers are already answered. Get up every day, your pray and dance 3 minutes a day as if your prayers have already been answered. So my life coaching workshops I've been doing for years, and I used to do it with the group, and I would be dancing at my son's wedding. Anyhow, I'm married now, remarried again. I was widowed at 30 years old, and I was single for many years, and I married 11 years to a guy that looks at me just like I visualized. So it's called the mental rehearsal, or I call it the end game in my book, Mixed Up to Fixed Up in 4 Weeks, or my book, Effed Up to Fixed Up in 4 Weeks. It's called the end game. You can get those on Amazon, my books. But it's called the end game, and you marry it with elevated emotion, and that's the secret sauce. You have to wake up as if your prayers have already been answered. Staying on your love diet, you're already in love, and you are what you seek. You are enough. You are more than enough. You are love. You are loving, and you are loved. And what's that inner conversation? I am loved, I am loving, and I am loved. And our cells are listening to us, sending love to your kidneys, your liver, your spleen, your stomach, loving your lungs, loving your heart, loving your fingers, loving your toes, just staying on your love diet because your cells are listening. So getting back to my life coaching workshops that I would do here, I would dance at my son's wedding as if my prayers have already been answered. My son is super, super, super shy. Long story short is he met a woman in the Netherlands. They've been flying back and forth, and it looks like they're getting married next year. So it's amazing. My son is an introvert. He's super quiet and shy, and I wasn't sure, but I acted as if, and I danced as if my prayers have already been answered. So I really encourage you to dance 3 minutes a day on your love diet and imagining that your money's in the bank, that you had a miracle, a breakthrough, to turn around unexpected checks in the mail, or you're healed and happy and whole from your diagnosis. I have a Power of Eight prayer group that I do once a month. It's a prayer group based on the Power of Eight book. If you haven't read The Power of Eight, that's an incredible book by Lynn McTaggart, and I have a prayer group around that. And I've had many miracles with that. Part of the real love lounge is also praying for other people and visualizing wellness for others, praying for our neighbors, praying for our city, praying for our countries, all those people praying for wellness in Israel and Gaza. May that war cease, and Ukraine and Russia, and any kind of issues in Africa, any poverty or anyone struggling financially, emotionally, and spiritually, because I believe it's our birthright to thrive. It's our birthright to thrive mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and materially. And what we appreciate appreciates. What does the LEAP method stand for again? Okay, the LEAP method stands for, and a man did this, he was a therapist, and he created the LEAP method to have his schizophrenic brother take his medicine. And he found that the LEAP method worked, and I learned from this from NAMI. And the LEAP method is listen, empathize, agree, and partner. So listen, empathize, agree, and partner. So listen to that person, empathize, that's got to be hard. Agree, oh, those medicines have got to be so hard. They've got to have so many side effects. That's got to be so challenging. Let's partner together. Maybe go back to your psychiatrist and see if there's a better fit for you. Or let's say that your elderly mother's in a board and care or in a senior living facility, and they're not happy there. Listen, oh, that's got to be hard that you're in that senior facility and you're not cared for or seen or loved. Maybe we can partner together and find a better senior living home that fits your needs. So that's how the LEAP method works. Listen, empathize, agree, and partner. So thank you for your questions, you guys. Does anyone else have any other questions? We have 10 more minutes to go. This has flown right by. And this woman is asking me on one question, should she move? Okay, that's a good question. Should she move? That's a very, very good question. So I got this from my brother when I was dating. If there's hell yes and hell no. And a hell maybe is a hell no. So make sure that you're moving someplace that's a hell yes. Do not move to a place that's a hell maybe if you can choose to. I was deciding whether to move away from Santa Monica. Oh, my pleasure. Someone just said thank you. Thank you, my pleasure. So should I move? I was debating whether to move from Santa Monica. I was raising my son by myself, living in Santa Monica. I had family in Colorado, my sister Katie and my sister Sarah. Like I said, I have 9 siblings. I'm an identical twin. More about that. And I teach yoga, and I have lots of free yoga on my YouTube station, you guys. So please do some yoga with me. I was debating whether to move from Santa Monica, and because I had family elsewhere to help raise my son, because his father died when he was 2. So I was raising him by myself. And so I sat quietly and I just said, God, give me a sign, give me a billboard bumper sticker, give me an inner whisper, give me an inner whisper of whether I should move from Santa Monica or not. I want to know, show me, and universe, source, whatever you want to call it, higher power, God, show me. And 10 minutes later, I walked down Montana Avenue, and everyone is out whining and dining outside on the boardwalks. And this was before I got married to my husband. And hi Susan, hi Susan, hi Susan, hi Susan, hi Susan, hi Susan, hi Susan. And as you know, I always say, go where the love is. And I was like, yeah, thank you, universe, God, higher power, for answering. So I got my answer right away. So if you're trying to make any big decisions, I always ask myself three questions. If it's going to create more love and more peace in your life, you're going in the right direction. If it creates less love and less peace in your life, you're going in the wrong direction. You want to go where there's more love and more peace. If it feels shackles on, you're in the wrong direction. If it feels shackles off, you're in the right direction. We want to have freedom and expansiveness and lightness. If it feels upstream, like we're in a canoe and we're pushing and shoving and forcing and controlling, paddling upstream along a strong current, and we're pushing and we're shoving and we're controlling and going upstream, then we're going in the wrong direction. If we let go of the oars and let the current carry us, and lean back and we feel peace and we're looking at the leaves fluttering above and the breeze blowing on our face and the deer in the distance and the sun's on the stream and the trout blowing bubbles, and we're in the moment, then we're in the right direction. So you want to go where there's more love and more peace in your life. You want to have shackles off, and you want to let go of the oars and let the current carry you. So I hope that that really helps of whether you should move or not. But listen to that inner whisper. Get quiet and meditate. Get quiet and listen to that inner whisper. To thine own self be true. To thine own self be true. And if it feels like, if it feels really good, you're going in the right direction. If you get kind of a yucky feeling, you're probably going in the wrong direction. So I am so happy that you tuned in, because new chapter, new page, new story. You guys, this week we are staying on. Actually, I'm not going to see you for a month till the next Real Love Lounge. So for 1 month, you guys, we are going to stay on the Real Love diet. And we are going to snap our rubber bands if we have an unloving thought towards ourselves, towards our coworkers, towards our children, towards our parents, towards our community, and towards our world. And we're going to just send love, erase and replace. Love where you are and what you have. Love your 10 fingers. Love your 10 toes when you wake up in the morning. Thank you for, if you have running water. I love my running water in the morning. I love my pillow. I love my duvet cover. I love my computer or my cell phone that I'm watching this on. I love technology so I can reach others around me. Staying on your love diet for 1 month till you see me again, you guys. So we're going to master. When we master loving thoughts, it trickles into mastering loving feelings and loving choices and loving actions. So practice the Ho'oponopono prayer. I love you and I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. And when you're doing mental rehearsal, write a thank you list every morning, pen to paper. Thank you for my loving life. Thank you. I love my money in the bank. Thank you. I love the doctor and what he said about my diagnosis, that I'm free of X, Y, and Z. Thank you for my loving friends. Thank you for and write it in the present moment now. Thank you for my loving children now. Thank you for my loving friends now. Thank you for the loving peace in the world now. Use now, because if it's always out there, someday, someplace, somehow. Oh, Melanie says, I love that prop. Thanks, Melanie. New chapter, new page, new story, right? And we're going to have a loving life. We're going to stay on the real love diet, you guys. And remember what I said, the only thing you have to deal with are your thoughts. The only thing you have to deal with are your thoughts. Write that on a piece of paper. Okay? The only thing you have to deal with are thoughts. Yes, you can review it, Elizabeth. I'm going to keep it posted on my YouTube channel so you can review this again because it's a nice. The reason why I teach this, you guys, is because of my itty shitty bitty committee. I can go right into my negative thoughts again. I can go right into my negative thoughts, my negative feelings, my negative choices. And when I start going into criticizing myself and complaining and judging and whatever, I have to, that's why I teach this, you guys, because I had chronic negative thinking. You've heard of Murphy's Law. I was Murphy. I was Murphy, Murphy's Law, negative thoughts. I mean, my husband passed away, my son had diagnoses, my babysitter committed suicide. I was just life was falling apart. It was a domino effect, and literally from studying the law of attraction and changing my thoughts. Literally, Emmett Fox told me to write on a piece of paper. I love Emmett Fox. If he's passed away, but he said, write this on a paper. The only thing you have to deal with are your thoughts. I had a big mortgage payment. I was teaching yoga. I had a son who was issue after issue after issue. I was always waiting for the other shoe to drop or the rug to be pulled from underneath me. So I'm telling you, this stuff works. That's why I wrote the book, Effed Up to Fixed Up, you guys, because I was effed up. And you can get that on my website. And it talks about the Ho'oponopono prayer. It's the 4 steps of clearing and cleaning your negative thoughts, planning and planting what you do want in your life by writing it pen to paper. That's so important because you want to be the architect of your own life. Thank you for my loving my bank account. Thank you for loving my loving friends. Thank you for my life filled with love. Thank you that I love myself and I have self-worth and I love and approve of myself and I am enough. I am more than enough. Thank you that I'm mastering loving thoughts and affirmations. I wonder if I have Louise Hay's book here for you guys. I wonder where, oh, here's Louise Hay's book. She's wonderful too. She is she's amazing. So, oh, someone said, I can't believe you're a twin. Yeah, I'm an identical twin. I'll have her on here. She does some coaching. She coaches completely different than I do. It's amazing. We're yin and yang. We're the opposite sides of the same coin. But I love this book, Heal Your Life, and it has positive affirmations in there. Like, I allow my mind to relax and be at peace. Clarity and harmony are within me and around me. All is well. I move with ease through time and space. Only love surrounds me. I now choose to create a life that is joyous and abundant, and I am at ease. We surround you with safety and love, and we create a space for you to heal, and you are loved. So I'm a hypnotherapist, you guys, and I have to finish in a minute. But how we rewire the subconscious mind, which I didn't go get into. I'll get into the subconscious mind next month. But our subconscious mind is downloaded between the ages of 1 and 7, and that's why we create people that are similar to mom and dad, and they give evidence of the beliefs that we feel about ourselves. And so in order to change our subconscious mind, we have to go through using our imagination and repetition and imagining a better reality and repeating it over and over and over again. So but you have to do it in theta waves and get into I'll do some hypnosis with you guys next month and get into hypnosis of how to rewire the brain to unwire, unfire, and rewire and refire the brain so that you can create a more loving life. And I have a bunch of hypnotherapy on my YouTube station. There's a few things, and you listen to it right before you go to bed. So you marinate in those loving thoughts. I am love. I am loving and I am loved. I am enough. I am at peace. I am whole. I'm a magnet for love. I'm a magnet for money. I'm a magnet for joy. And it's about how we do that self talk. So for 1 month, you guys stay on your love diet and have wonderful self talk. And remember to, in the mirror, look at yourself in the mirror, okay? And I love you, and I'm sorry, Please forgive me and thank you. I love you and I'm sorry. Please forgive me that I can be so hard on you. I'm never going to abandon you or judge you or criticize you. I'm going to praise you and uplift you because if we don't love ourselves, how can we expect to love anybody else? So I want to thank you guys so much for joining today, my first YouTube live here, and I'll save it so you guys can replay. And just thank you, thank you, thank you. I love and appreciate all of you guys. Remember to like and subscribe and share. And remember to come next month to my Real Love Lounge. And the Real Love Diet book is going to come out in 2026. And I also have an Awaken Higher Love Retreat in 2026 in Los Angeles. So stay tuned. And I love you too, Elizabeth. And you are awesome. And I'm so glad Melanie stayed on. And Mock, you stayed on. And all of you guys that came on, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I love and appreciate you. Remember, DH says, congratulations, sweetie. Thank you so much. Remember, what we appreciate appreciates. What we appreciate appreciates. What we focus on grows. So remember to master your loving thoughts, and then they go into mastering loving feelings and loving choices and loving behaviors. And visit susanfoxley.com. I write weekly blogs. You will love my blogs. They are phenomenal. And God bless you all. And I love you, love you, love you, love you. You are enough. You are more than enough. You are perfect just the way you are. Mwah! All my love. God bless you all. Big hugs, big kisses.